As of January 1st, 2023, the Canadian government has put a ban on foreign buyers from purchasing residential property in Canada. Now, this bill was passed back in June of last year, but it came into effect of January 1st this year, and it's going to last for 2 full years. Now, the big question here is this going to have a noticeable impact on the Canadian real estate market? There's a lot of different things to discuss about this ban, and before we get into things, my name's Matt. I work with the Linda Maguire Team here in Burlington. If you like this kind of content, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking to discuss buying, selling, investing, or all things real estate, you can click the link below and book a call directly with our team. Now, like I mentioned, there's a lot of different aspects to consider when we're talking about what type of impact this ban is going to have. The first is, what portion of the market are we even discussing here with non-residents purchasing properties? Now, Stats Canada released a report stating that non-residents make up just less than 4% of residential real estate purchases and ownership across Canada, and that includes the major markets such as Ontario and Vancouver. So while we're discussing this, just keep in mind we're talking about around 4% of the market and how that's going to be impacted by this ban. Next, there's also some different exemptions that come with this ban, of course. So the first is, what type of property does this apply to? So this applies to all residential types of property, including condos, townhomes, link homes, semi-detached and detached homes, up to multi-dwelling units of 3 units. So anything up to a triplex. Anything with 4 units or more is actually exempt under this ban. And I find that kind of an interesting choice from the government, because if you're an investor living outside of Canada and you're purchasing as an investment opportunity, if you have the equity available, then it's likely you could be purchasing something with 4, 5, 6 or more units, because a lot of the time they do make great investments and have good cap rates. Now, the other type of property that's exempt from this ban is recreational property, so cottages and lake houses. And I also kind of find this interesting because they can make great investments if you're doing things like Airbnb or VRBO or short-term rentals throughout the seasons. Now, there are also exemptions on who this ban applies to. So non-Canadians working and living in Canada on temporary work permits, refugee claimants, or international students that meet certain criteria are exempt from this ban. Also, non-Canadians that have a spouse or common law partner who is a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident, or a person under the Indian Act or refugee are also exempt from this ban. Now, coming back to the big question here, is this going to have a noticeable impact on the market? Like I mentioned, this is going to last for 2 years, which I think is a good decision because we'll have a good subset of data to go off of and see if it does have an impact. The main thing we have to consider here is the size or the portion of the market that this is going to impact. And like Stats Canada said, it's roughly 4% of the market. So regardless of all the exemptions on property types and who is exempt from this, I don't think it's going to have a noticeable or major impact on the market, because we're talking about such a small portion of the market. And when you look to the headlines and people's opinion from the industry or economists, it's kind of split, but majority are saying this isn't going to have a noticeable or a major impact on the market, but it could have somewhat of an impact in that small portion. So now that you know a little bit more about the details of this ban, what do you think? Do you think this is going to have an impact on the market, or do you think it's not going to have an impact at all? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.